Yo, what's good guys? It's Crunch. I'm bringing you my week 1 battle for BDL. This game is 2 weeks late. My computer ended up getting corrupted, so then I switched over to my PC, and then PC had issues with running slow. So yeah, we're here now, so that's all that matters. But it's going to be a post commentary. I hope you guys are okay with that. I hope you guys enjoy. Hopefully starting week 3 I can go live comment instead, but for now we're just gonna keep it as post commentary. Coming into this battle, I had 2 main issues. One was mouse hold and the other one was Inteleon. I actually ended up prepping for the wrong team. One of the docs got messed up somehow, so I prepped for something else. Come play the game, he had a different team, so then we ended up playing the day after. Basically, I didn't know he had Tornadoes, so then I had to re-prep for his Tornadoes. So basically what happened was I brought Goldengo. So originally my team was Escavalier, Gallade, Florges, Rotom-Heat, and then I believe Quagsire and something else. But because of Mousehold and the Tornadoes, I ended up bringing Goldengo, which was, I believe, Salt Vest. No, it was Leftovers. It was basically max HP so that it would live 2 hits or 2 heat waves from the Tornadoes, max special attack modest, and then the Tyranitar was Rocky Helmet, max defense for the mouse hold, and then Escavalier was Assault Vest, I think Careful Nature, was it max Spadef? It was indeed max Spadef for the Inteleon. And then Gallade was Choice Scarf for the Flamigo, and Florges was also there just kind of like as a backup. So yeah, let's jump straight into the battle. So turn 1, I have multiple options. I can go Escavalier, expecting the either the Uxie or the Inteleon, or I can go Tyranitar to set up rocks. I instead decided to go into Rotom just to see what he'll do, so I can just Volt Switch out, because he does have an electric immunity, but it's Rotom-Heat. So right, so if he goes mouse hold, I click Volt Switch all day long, because if he stays in, then he just dies to an overheat. So that's why I went Rotom-Heat. He ends up going Uxie. So here, there's basically 2 options. I can scout out for what its build is and go for the overheat, or I can just switch out. So I end up going just for Volt Switch, right? Volt Switch out. And so from that damage, I see that it is bulky, but it's not max Spadef. So it's either going to be defensive or something else. So here, expecting him to switch out, I go for Stealth Rouse, right? He instead stays and goes for Knockoff, which is kind of an issue considering that I had Rocky Helmet for Mousehold, but it's okay, whatever, because even from here, Mousehold doesn't kill, and I can return kill it with the Body Press. He goes for Encore here though when I go for Crunch, so I'm kind of stuck in the situation. He gets a free switch out, so instead what I do is I just go straight into Rotom-Heat, because whatever he brings in, I can just Volt Switch out on once again. Same thing, unless he goes Inteleon, which in that case I hard switch into Escavalier. He ends up going for Detect, which is actually fine. So what I realize is here, I do a calc. I run a calc. I say, okay, even if it's choice band, can Flamigo kill me with anything? Since Rotom is max defense, max HP, I realize, okay, no, nothing kills, and I do some insane damage, and then if I Volt Switch out, I can just go straight into Gallade and then Revenge Kill, right? Or if, well, it's not really a Revenge Kill, it's more like just clean up, since it's Choice Scarf for the Flamigo. He ends up switching out. I don't know if he just didn't want to take the Volt Switch or whatever happens, but my play all day long was to just stay in Will-O-Wisp, because I think, okay, he goes for a close combat. If I live, then I can get, then if I burn him, then I can live 2 more, or at least 1 more. So I stay in, I just go for the Will-O-Wisp. If he brings in Uxie here, that's fine with me, I just Volt Switch after that. If he brings in Inteleon, once again, same thing, I just switch out straight into the Escavalier. But basically, I have a free Will-O-Wisp here. So I just ended up going for Will-O-Wisp. I think he expected me to switch out, and which case I would have probably, I don't know. Here I think I would go into Tyranitar, but lucky for me, he comes in, he gets burned. So this means that Rotom-Heat does not get OHKO'd by the Mousehold Population Bomb, even if I get 10 hits. So I just stay in here, go for the Overheat, and if he switches out here, something's taking a huge hit. If he goes in Inteleon, once again I just hard switch, but he stays in. He just goes for Population Bomb. So I end up picking up the kill on the Mousehold. I honestly expected him to switch out, but he didn't. He lets it go down. It is what it is. Works out for me. And so here he's gonna go Inteleon. Doesn't matter. But like I said before, I always go Escavalier because I always live 2 choice specs Hydro Pumps, even with Sniper or Torrent, I guess. Either or. So I always live. I think he ended up being a Sniper, so it worked out. But yeah, here he just goes for Snipe Shot. I'm assuming he didn't bring Hydro Pump for whatever reason, but this works out in my favor. He goes for Snipe Shot again, and I just go for the knockoff because no matter what, even if he cannot kill me with any move that he goes for anymore, right? No matter what set he brings, he cannot kill me with the choice specs being knocked off. So I just stay in, I go for knockoff. So here, my play is either to click close combat, switch out, or predict something else coming in. So I predicted Uxie coming in, considering it was based on the damage that it took from the Rotom earlier. Here I'm thinking, okay, it's Fizz Def, obviously, but an X-Scissor is gonna do crazy damage. He instead goes Flamigo, right? So I go for the X-Scissor. It does basically nothing. So here I'm thinking, okay, do I need a Escavalier for anything? I've got the Inteleon knocked off, and Mousehold's dead. The 2 main threats are done. So here I'm thinking, okay, if I switch out, something is taking a massive hit from close combat. I could have gone Florges here, saving the Escavalier, but Escavalier's use in this game is basically done, because any hit from Togedemaru, I switch in. If I use it as a switch in, it's gonna get 2 shots, so it doesn't matter. Flamigo kills it. Tornadus has Heat Wave. Inteleon is basically dead at this point, but it considering I'm at 29%, it doesn't kill. And so Uxie, I already have Gallade, so at this point it didn't really matter. So I just let Escavalier go down. It probably wasn't the best play, but I'm thinking, okay, I don't need any more. It's fine. I would rather just get a safe switch in, so I just switch out, or I just let it go down. He actually has White Herb, so the close combat actually works out for him. Here I'm thinking I should have gone Gallade, now that I think about it, but me going into Flamigo, predicting the switch is, I guess it is what it is, but me going Gallade here, he goes for Detect, he doesn't realize I'm Scarfed, right? So he could either stay in, right, or he switches into Tornadus. If I had brought in Gallade, then I could have given away the Scarf, and then he might have switched out and played around it, but I thought, okay, why don't I just go into into the Rotom against the Flamigo, because I know he can't hit anything because he switched out against me. So here he comes in. I predicted Detect, so I just go for Will-O-Wisp. Don't want to waste PP on the Volt Switch. So he switches out. Obviously, I go for Volt Switch here. I guess he didn't predict it, or he expected me to go for something like for Overheat, and I expected the Inteleon to live, but he ends up losing the Inteleon, and I get a free switch in here. Realistically thinking, if he had sent in Togedemaru here, I go for the Overheat all day. And if he predicts that and he goes into Inteleon, I'm in a worse off position, but I guess it works out. So then the main 2 threats are done. I always go into Gallade here, and I don't know why he didn't just go Flamigo here, he goes into Uxie, right? I have knockoff. I'm thinking, okay, even if it's Fizz Def, I can still kill it. But the thing I didn't realize is, by me losing my Choice Scarf here, I don't have the ability to then KO the Flamigo with this thing. So basically, it loses all purpose, because it loses the ability to fight one-on-one with Togedemaru, because it doesn't have speed ever. And Zing Zap, I'm pretty sure kills. Tornadus isn't taking much from Gallade. And then Flamigo, obviously outspeeds with me not having choice scarf. So here I switch out trying to save it, and because he's going for a close combat no matter what, so I just go straight into the Florges, but he goes for detect for some reason. I don't know why necessarily, because close combat was easy play I would have thought, but here I go into Florges. There's two things I could do here. I could either Moonblast, or I can switch out predicting the Togedemaru come in. I stay in and go for the Moonblast because any chip on that Togedemaru is fine for me, because Rotom 1v1s it all day, because Iron Head, then Zingzap, or Nuzzle, or whatever it has, I always take that with Rotom-Heat. So I just go for the Moonblast. He ends up staying in, I think. Yeah, he ends up staying in, going for Acrobatics. So my Florges goes down to half. I don't think I brought Wish this week. Let me see. Yeah, I didn't end up going, or I did end up going Wish, but it wasn't like a Wish Protect set, so it wouldn't have mattered either way. But Flamingo ends up going down. Togedemaru comes in all day here. My play 100% is to go into Rotom here. Thinking back on it, it's 100% just go Rotom, take whatever hit, overheat in return. So that's not what I do for some reason. I stay in. I don't know why I stay in. I think it's just because like I'm thinking, okay, I don't need Florges anymore. It doesn't live any hits from Tornadus unless Tornadus goes for the Heat Wave, or I mean the Focus Blast. But other than the Focus Blast, Florges' use is basically done. So I guess in that manner, I was like thinking, okay, maybe I should sack it. Then I make an even weirder play. I decide, okay, I need the Florges for the Focus Blast on the Tornadus, and I go and sack my Gallade. Once again, I should have just gone into the Rotom-Heat. I don't know what I was thinking, but you know, I go into Rotom-Heat now and I lose the differential with Gallade, so it is what it is. So here I have two options. I can Volt Switch, predicting him to go into Tornadus, and I won't kill, but I'll get a free switch into anything else. But like thinking back, if he goes for Heat Wave, I live with Goldengo. I die with Violet, my Florges, or he goes for Focus Blast, right? So here I should have gone for the Volt Switch, but Will-O-Wisp was just so that Florges would live, but it didn't really matter at this point because I think Florges still would have died. I don't remember the calc exactly, but he goes into this. I just go for the Overheat because I'm thinking, okay, no matter what, Overheat's gonna do a lot. So I do that, and then I'm thinking, okay, I want to keep this as healthy as possible, because if for some reason, even though I'm max defense, if Togedemaru comes back in and I'm at like 25 because of a Focus Blast, especially considering I was max defense instead of max Spadef, then it becomes a lot harder for me to win this game. So I end up just sacking off the Florges. At least that's what I thought. He ends up going for Focus Blast, yeah, but once again, it didn't really matter. Florges was dying to anything regardless. So me switching in was basically just a way for me to get a free switch into Goldengo, because Goldengo can then easily clean up with both of these. So I here just go for the Shadow Ball to pick up the kill. Heat Wave doesn't kill no matter what, even if it's modest. Maybe if it's Specs, it's a different story, but I didn't expect it to be Specs. So yeah, take out the Tornadus. Once again, he goes into Togedemaru. Here, I'm thinking, okay, I don't want it to get hit with Rotom. Once again, I'm just trying to secure the win at this point. So I end up staying in. I think I just end up going for another Shadow Ball. He ends up flinching me here, which is like whatever, I guess. So now at this stage, I could have gone into the Tyranitar, expecting him to go for Zingzap again. But I think if I go into Tyranitar there with Rocks damage, I think I still die to Iron Head. So regardless, it's either Goldengo or Rotom dying. So at this stage now, I've put myself in a position where it has to be a 2-0. So I just go into Tyranitar, I click Body Press, and I win the game because I was max defense on the Tyranitar for the mouse hold. So, you know, it wasn't very clean. It was a very sloppy win. And we did get lucky with some of the over predictions on J-Rive's side, but once again, a win is a win. And J-Rive played very well and was very nice to me considering that I prepped for the wrong team. So thank you so much, J-Rive. Yeah, that's going to do it for my week 1 battle. I'll probably end up attaching the week 2 battle to the end of this segment. So if I do, I'll see you guys in game 2. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to comment so that you can tell me how you guys want to see the next one. What's up, guys? It's Crunch. I'm bringing you week 2 of the BDL. This may or may not be combined with the week 1 battle. So if you just saw the week 1 battle, welcome. If not, if you guys are having a good day so far, enjoy the week 2 battle. So jumping straight into it, this game had a lot of issues. Basically, the guy I was playing against, a lovely guy, big money man, is amazing. He's such a nice guy to work with. What ended up happening was my Windows actually got corrupted. It literally just deleted itself off my laptop. So I lost everything for a few days. So between getting my old PC working again and trying to fix my laptop, I ended up having to get an extension similar to week 1, but week 1 was a different reason. But yeah, so it got to a point where it's just like, alright, it's the deadline for the extension was Wednesday. I had 2 hours left, and I was like, alright, whatever happens, just let it happen. I need to get this battle done. I don't want to make him wait any longer, otherwise I'll just give him the forfeit win. But I wanted to actually play the game. So I said, okay, fine, I'll slap together a team in 10-15 minutes, and I'll battle. So that's exactly what I did. Now, Big Money Man had a very scary team. Blacephalon, Sneasler, Iron Treads, Dragonite. Those are the main threats. Obviously, Jellicent's an issue, but I had workarounds for it, especially if Jellicent was like Spidef, then Glade kills, or if it was max defense, that I just go Goldengo and I clean up. But so I did have like a little bit of trouble, but what I do remember from that prep, which I ended up losing since it was so quick, but was that I had Scarf Salamence just for the Blacephalon and the Sneasler, in case. Well, I mean, the Sneasler was too fast, but for the Blacephalon and the Iron Treads, I had Scarf the Salamence, and then the Scavalier was fully maxed Spidef, and then I think the Goldengo was Akaberry, but you'll see later on that it literally did not matter. So yeah, let's just jump straight into the battle. We're gonna play music off. So here I just go into Quagsire because rocks against this team, it's good. If I can get rocks, Dragonite, Blacephalon, and Sneasler, the chip I need. I kind of need the chip for Sneasler for Goldengo to kill it, but Sneasler can't really hit Goldengo, so it doesn't really matter. But rocks are nice here, especially just for the Dragonite multi-scale. So that puts me in a position where I can win late game with Salamence. But I mean, Iron Treads having rapid spin is obviously always going to be a problem. So he goes Dragonite here. So I'm thinking here, okay, if I can get a Toxic here, right, he cannot kill me with anything. If I get a Toxic here, I break his multi-scale. He can't stay in and Dragonance and do whatever and just set up, right? So he is on a timer if I hit this Toxic, right? He goes for Dragon Claw, does 43%. I was max defense and he still did 43. It turns out later he was choice banded, so it didn't really matter. But Toxic ends up missing, which is a big miss. Like, it's a big miss, basically. So Quagsire, I could go for a cover here, but I'll never be able to get to a position where I can switch out into anything, and I can't recover. So it's just like Quagsire's entire use is just like out the window at this point. Because like I'm thinking, I can't switch into Salamence, I can't switch into Rotom. Rotom does not take 2. Goldengo, it does take it because it's banded. But at this point, I didn't realize whether it was banded or not. I'm thinking, okay, he just went for it. I can go Goldengo, but he switches out. So here, I'm thinking, okay, he's either gonna switch out or he's just gonna go for Dragon Claw again. So me thinking he's gonna switch out, I just go for the Stealth Rocks. Alright, but he stays in. He goes for Dragon Claw, and so at this point, it is what it is. It's just like this thing. I can't do anything with it. I can't get it in everywhere. It's gonna recover. So I just end up letting it go down. So yeah, there's nothing I could do here. Quagsire goes down to the Dragonite, and it is what it is. Here, and at this point, I realized, okay, it's banded for sure, and I needed these rocks up, so I just go Goldengo straight, and no matter what switches in, a Mega Rain is taking big damage, right? Or Mega Rain is doing big damage. he goes into Ludicolo. Obviously, 21% with the not resisted, or with resisted is decent damage. Here I'm thinking I have absolutely no clue what he's gonna do. He's probably gonna go for a Leech Seed, so I can either go Gallade here, and Gallade kills no matter what, right? So if I go Gallade here, I'm getting a kill, right? So I just go Gallade here because no matter what comes in, Ludicolo I don't think it kill here. Oh, what did I do? Okay. Oh man, I'm thinking of next turn. So this turn I don't know what he's gonna do. I just go into this predicting like a Leech Seed, so I just go for a Volt Switch here, and I go straight into Gallade. Because, like, once again, like I was just saying, I didn't know what he was doing with the Ludicolo. I really didn't. I saw a set after the battle. Oh my god, this set was crazy. It would have worked if it wasn't for Gallade, honestly. But like I said before, if I go Gallade here, something's dying, right? Something is dying to a Psycho Cut. If he goes Jellicent here, I go for Psycho Cut knockoff. That gets a kill. If he sends in Dragonite, it's a speed tie thing. So if I go first, then I do massive damage with Psycho Cut, and I don't think it killed, but without multi-skill it did a lot. It did to a point where I just come in with Salmons and I just kill it with Dual Wing V or Dragon Claw. If he goes Sneasler, he dies to Psycho Cut. If he goes to Blacephalon, he doesn't die. He doesn't die to the Psycho Cut either, but once again, nothing is taking this hit reasonably, right? So here he goes for Leaf Seed. I think he expected to live. Or he obviously saw me switching out, but here he stays in. I don't know why he stays in here, but I just go for the Sacred Sword and I just knock it out. Because, okay, he goes Blacephalon, but he's in the rain. So then if he's in the rain, I just go into Goldengo and I or if not for Goldengo, then I go into the Escavalier or the Salmons and I kill it no matter what. So I guess he doesn't expect me to kill, so he just goes down with Ludicolo. And he then goes into to the Jellicent. So here, what I'm expecting is either he goes for an attack or he goes for Strength Sap to reduce the attack, obviously. So I go into Escavalier here, expecting, like, because no matter what, it's a special hit, or he goes for Strength Sap, so which is fine. All I need is to knock off this thing's item. I'm assuming is leftovers or whatever. So I just go for knockoff here. Now, he always out-sustains me. So, what I do is, I see this, right? He's just gonna go for the Strength Sap again, right? I knock off his item, right? He has the Heavy Duty Boots, right? Which, for some reason, I didn't notice at first. But he did. So, I knock off the Heavy Duty Boots, which is good. He disables my knockoff with Curse Body. So, here, I just go straight into Goldengo, yeah, because even a shadow, I don't expect a Shadow Ball. Honestly, I could have maybe predicted a Shadow Ball, but Shadow Ball doesn't do too much to me. So I just go straight into Goldengo, expecting that he'll go for like a Strength Sap to whatever to heal back up to full. Good as gold coming in clutch because it reduces my in a stat. I live or nothing happens basically. So here I get a free Shadow Ball. He lets the Jellicent go down. I have no clue why. I guess if he goes into anything here, if he goes into Iron Treads, then I'm assuming Iron Treads takes a lot. But there were definitely plays where he could live that. I don't know why, but he lets Jellicent go down. He goes into Iron Treads here. He's obviously going to Rapid Spin, but at this stage, there's not really much I can do. I just kind of gotta I just have to let him. But he doesn't go for Rapid Spin. He goes for Electric Train for some reason. Well, you'll see what happens in a minute. But he ends up going for Electric Terrain, and I go into Rotom because I'm thinking, okay, even if he goes for Rapid Spin, he can't hit me with EQ. So no matter, even if it's like a Rock Slide or whatever Rock type move that Entreads gets, I'm living and I kill with the Overheat. So I'm thinking that, and so I just go into Rotom. He goes for Electric Terrain, which is kind of nuts. He gets his Quark Drive proc. I see its speed, so obviously he's a speedy boy. He Rapid Spins here. I go for the Overheat. Yeah, I go for the Overheat here. He just kills. Big thing for him is that even though Iron Treads dies, he doesn't have the rocks up, which means that Dragonite still has a chance to win the game. That's the big thing. I wish there was another way I could say I could keep with the rocks, but there was just nothing I could have done. Rocks are important as hell for this game, so yeah. him getting rocks off the field is a big problem. Here he just goes into Sneasler, and he goes for he has the electric seed, so he gets a plus defense. I don't think it matters for any of my mons, considering that Gallade dies at any one hit, Salamence dies at any one hit. Escavalier is fine. Escavalier and Gholdengo are fine, but like I always kill in return. So the electric seed was very cool to see, but I don't know if it would have done much in return. So here all day I just go into. What did I stay in? I think I stayed in because I'm thinking here he's gonna predict me to switch into either Gholdengo or Escavalier, so I just go for the Will-O-Wisp. So now I've effectively removed Sneasler from the game. So I was talking to him later after the game. He actually expected me to switch out here because Gholdengo or Rotom-Heat dies, even though it's max defense, it dies to any hit from Sneasler. But me getting this burn off means that even if I do switch into Gholdengo, like, it doesn't matter. Because he goes for Dire Claw, he cannot hit me. He goes for Acrobatics, he does some damage, but like not a lot, because I was very bulky. He goes for Close Combat, I don't get hit. And the fourth move, I don't remember what it was, but I think he also couldn't hit me with that. So here, I'm pretty sure he just lets this thing go down, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, he just goes for Acrobatics, and he just lets it go down. I go for Nasty Pot, considering that obviously he's not going to hit me, and if he goes into any of his other mons, then that's a free Nasty Pot for me. But he stays in, and I just go for, I think I go for Shadow Ball this time? Shadow Ball, I think. So, the reason why I went for Nasty Pot is because if he goes into Blacephalon, I'm Akaberry, so I'm pretty sure from full I live a hit with Akaberry. Unless it's Specs, obviously. But if it's anything other than Spec, I think I live one hit from full. But at this stage, it doesn't matter. Like, Blacephalon comes in here, he gets a kill no matter what. So, it's just a matter of what I let go down. Here I'm thinking maybe off chance this thing lives, but even with like Choice Spec Flamethrower is gonna kill no matter what, right? It's just that huge of Pokemon. So here, I could have lost the game if he boosted speed. But luckily, he boosted in special attack, so I could have gone Rotom. But here, I just go into Salamence. I'm Scarfed, so I click EQ all day long, right? I think any hit would have killed, but just to be sure, I just go for EQ. He could have gone into the Dragonite here. I guess he didn't predict me to be Scarfed, which is fine. But the way I brought it in was very telling, but I guess he didn't see it. But like, sorry, drinking water. But even if he switches out, then I switch out into the Gallade, I think. Either or, I can pivot around the Dragonite. Here, I kind of need the Salamence to stay alive, especially since it was Scarfed or EQ. I'm not hitting it no matter what. So I switch out because I can't hit it. He goes for Dragon Claw. He's obviously gonna kill the Rotom. It's just that big of a thing. So Escavalier comes in. He's now stuck in Dragon Claw. I realize he's banned from earlier. So now Escavalier just 1v1s it. Like at this point, worst case, I switch into he kills my Escavalier. I go Salamence. I pick up the kill. But at this stage of the game is basically won. The thing is, if I knock off here, he'll do less damage, yes, but he won't be trapped into Dragon Claw, so he can still. And if he wins a Speed Time Gallade, then he can still win. And if he has a Fire type move, which I thought he might, then the Escavalier dies. I lose the game because I don't think Salamence is doing enough, especially with multi-skill. So here, I just go for an attack. I break the multi-skill, right? So at this stage of the game, now it's won, right? I can switch out here now. He's going for Dragon Claw, but if I switch out, I lose a Mon anyway. So if I'm gonna lose a Mon, it might as well be Escavalier, because then I can just secure the game with Salamence. But I actually end up living this next turn. I guess he gets a low roll. He gets a very low roll, or I guess he just doesn't kill, maybe. But I end up picking up the kill with the Escavalier. So we go up 2-0. A 3-0 win over Big Money Man. Big Bunny Man was such a nice guy when it came to scheduling. He really worked with me, and it was basically I was taking advantage of him, and I really do feel bad for that. So thank you so much, Big Money Man. We get lucky, I guess. I really don't know what happened. To be honest, our team is just. I guess my team is just playing for itself at this point. But yeah, that's gonna be week 2. Week 3 is I'm actually battling today. I think I should be battling today. It's in like an hour, but. Yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Week 3 should be a live commentary if I get everything working. If not, then week 4 for sure. But that's about it. Comment down below any thoughts or questions you have about the game, or any suggestions you have for me moving forward. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.